welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the Snowflake of the Year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm here at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. This is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that scored all them points over there? Player of the night.
Get him in your lineups. Get him in there, and let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300. Yo, what's up? What's happening? It's the big homie, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, at DFS Jerusalem on Twitter. Much love to everybody. Thank you all for coming into the stream. Shout out DFS Little Monster. Yo, we've got an 8-game MLB slate to go over. You know how we do it. It's been a pretty decent MLB season so far for us. Pretty good wins inside the shop already. We're going to continue that and keep that going. Really quick, yo, let's go ahead. Let's jump into it. I kind of want to give you an idea of how we're rocking, what we're going to be getting into. We go to RotoQL, which is my favorite site, my go-to site for all things DFS, especially baseball. Love it for DFS baseball, man. And as you can see, we've got 8 games here, and our primary function today is to, come out with some solid pitching. We know that the batting orders are going to be out roughly between, 4 and 5:30. So then we can make our determinations there. But what I want to do now, look at the pitching, look at the field conditions, look at the weather conditions, and from that, we can kind of determine who we want to put into our batter stacks and who we want tossing the leather, okay? So let's jump right into it, man. First game we got is going to be the Cleveland Indians going to Baltimore to take on the Orioles. We are in Camden Yards. As I've stated so many times before, Camden Yards, very favorable park for hitters. We've also got a 10-mile-per-hour wind going out toward a left field that will accompany us in trying to get some home runs there. Problem is, we got Carlos Carrasco and Kevin Gausman, two very decent pitchers. Carrasco, excellent. Carrasco is one of the better pitchers in the league in terms of his upside and what he can do and strikeouts. Gausman had a really, really good season last year, and we haven't really seen him play up to his potential so far this season. If you look at the few starts that he did have, never really got completely blown up. But, I mean, you're looking at 12, 9, 10, 11, where, last season, man, he had some really solid games. Like a rock-solid pitcher, a guy that just not going to get blown up. So, does that say to me that I could stack some Cleveland bats against him? I wouldn't say I would stack Cleveland, but I think I could play a couple of the Cleveland bats against Carrasco. The only guy that you can play right now is Manny Machado against anybody. Machado is beasting. He's going ham. Dude hit two jacks yesterday against the best pitcher in the game, Corey Kluber. So you can play pretty much Manny Machado any way you want, anytime you want, especially in these situations where he's going to be low owned. I saw Manny Machado in some spots yesterday, 1% owned. Okay, Corey Kluber was way higher owned than Manny Machado was. We saw Corey Kluber reaching up to 30% owned in some tournaments, whereas Manny Machado 1% owned or less across the board. So that's going to give you a glimpse into playing a guy like that in that situation. So now let's have a look at the Orioles at the crib versus right-handed pitching. Kind of see what they've been doing since the season started. And you look at it, man, it's okay, bad. 273 plate appearances, 20.1% K rate, a .098 ISO with a 227 WOBA. This definitely means that you can attack you can attack the Baltimore Orioles with a strikeout style pitcher like Carlos Carrasco. I kind of wish that strikeout number was up a little bit more, but 20% is still an exploitable number. It is. If you look at Cleveland on the road and see what they've done so far this season, take a look at them on the road versus righties. The bats have kind of woken up just a little bit recently, but still that 24.5% K rate, 174 ISO, 295 WOBA. It's looking like this dude, it could be a pivot here. Like Gausman could be. I mean, Gausman is so cheap at 5.8 at home. I'm kind of liking Gausman here. I really am. I'm kind of liking Gausman. I'm gonna take that chance. I kind of like Gausman here. Let's look at some BVP. Do we have any BVP? We got BVP with Carrasco and Guzman or Gausman, excuse me. Batters against him. Edwin Encarnacion hit a jack in 19 at bats. There's no big beefy sample size here. Lindor only 6 at bats, hit a jack. On the other side, the biggest one we've got is 10 at bats with Adam Jones against Carrasco, 1 jack batting 200. Not a lot to really go off in terms of BVP, but Gausman is somebody who I'm digging already as a low owned cheaper guy. All right. Next game we got is gonna be my New York Yankees defending Yankee Stadium against the big bad Minnesota Twins. Jake Odorizzi at 6.1, Masahiro Tanaka at 8.8. Yo, I don't mind, bro. I don't mind Tanaka here at 8.8. We're in Yankee Stadium, so it's a 30% chance of very light rain. 7 mile per hour wind, 32% humidity. Yeah, I could play Tanaka against because they haven't really been great lately. Let's go check it out. Let's look and see what the Twins have been doing on the road versus right-handers. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Look at okay. See, this is it. See, this explains it. See, this is the shit right here. This is the shit that we need to pay attention to. Look at this. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, 245 plate appearances, 25.3% K rate, a 215 ISO, with a 334 WOBA. What this means is either the Minnesota Twins are going to knock the ball all around Yankee Stadium and hang up 8-9 runs, or it's going to be a strikeout show. This is very interesting. The Minnesota Twins. This game particularly the matchup between the Minnesota Twins offense and Tanaka. This is really, really, really interesting, man. I could go either way here, and I think I will. I think I will. That is, man, that's because whenever you have an ISO this high, a 215 ISO and a 334, when you have ISO WOBA that high, the only thing that you want to pay attention to next after that is going to be the K percentage at 25.3% K rate. That means they swing a lot, and they swing and miss a lot. So that could go either way, and I would tend to go with a lot of the bats here in Yankee Stadium. So that's an interesting game. That really is. That really is. Once the batting order comes out, I can be a little bit more sure if I've got some left-handers toward the top of the order. If I get some Matt Kepler, some Logan Morrison, even some Eduardo Escobar toward the top. If toward the top of the order, if I get some of those guys, but like we're talking about the lefty power, if I get some of that toward the top of the order, I could definitely sink my teeth into some of the Minnesota bats, man. Yeah. Pause. All right. On the other side, we look at the Yankees at the crib versus righties. I think they should be pretty good, man. Yeah, man. 6th ranked in this graphic, where it's a 168 ISO, 354 WOBA, a 23.2% K rate. Nothing to really write home and go ham about, but definitely something that I think is usable. I think Yankees bats here are usable, but I would no way at all even contemplate playing Jake Odorizzi. Do we still do line drive? Yes, the line drive at 5. Yes, we still do that. Yeah, there's no way I would contemplate playing Odorizzi here. So Minnesota jumps off as a front runner, as one of my favorite batter stacks on the day. I wouldn't put them like in the top 3. I wouldn't put them in the top 3, but I would definitely you know, have him placed up there. And then we get the Torres kid. The Torres kid looks pretty good. He should be playing too. All right, so next game we got is going to be the Oakland A's going to Texas, man, going to Globe Life Park in Arlington to take on the Rangers. Really another solid park for hitting here. We've got a 45% humidity, 8 mile per hour wind going out toward the outfield. Trevor Cahill at 7K, Matt Moore 6.5. That'll tell you all you need to know. You can definitely play some bats here. Let's take a look at the Rangers and what they do at the crib versus right-handers. Haven't been great since they've been so banged up. Kind of toward the bottom, actually, 24.3% K rate, only a 120 ISO and a 295 WOBA. So for me, lefty power will be where I would go. Like I don't have to stack up Texas, but lefty power is kind of where I would go. Definitely lefty power. Now on the other side, we look at the Oakland A's and what they do on the road versus left-handed pitching. That should give us okay, here we go, a 27.3% K rate. They strike out a ton against lefties. 141 ISO with a 314 WOBA. The WOBA is just high enough, over 300, for me to want to grab some right-hand bats here. I could definitely. It's a 10-run total, bro. Both of these pitchers are pretty much bad, so we're gonna see a lot of runs scored in this game. And I have no issue playing guys on either side. I wouldn't call this, oh, I gotta stack Oakland, or I gotta stack this. I would call this a nice game stack. This is nice game stack material where you could grab 2, 3 guys on either side and do well with that. I wouldn't have a problem there either. Let's take a look, see if we got some BVP. Oh yeah, we gotta do the BVP for the Mets and for the Yankees and the Twins too. I want to take a look at that. Doja is batting 357 and 14 at bats. That's not bad. Lomo 21 at bats, 1 jack, batting 190. That's horrible. Brett Gardner 29 at bats, 1 jack, not great. Gary Sanchez, yeah, there's no big BVP explosion for that one. There really isn't. All right, so now we're going to Oakland and the Texas Rangers. We just talked about that one. Yeah, this is like how I'm giving you. This is the research. This is how we do the research. No BVP there at all either. So this game we got another nice one, man. The Seattle Mariners and the Chicago White Sox. US Cellular Field, another one of the really great hitters parks. But all these, there's gonna be a ton of runs scored tonight. There's gonna be a ton of runs scored tonight. You heard it here, bro. Mike Leake 6.3, Miguel Gonzalez 5.1. Seattle has been hitting the ball fairly well since Nelly Cruz came back. So I wouldn't really want to jump all over Miguel Gonzalez or Mike Leake, because I think Chicago White Sox are pretty sneaky in this spot. I love the fact that they have so many switch hitters and left-handed guys that can push to the top of the order to attack Mike Leake. So we're looking at the White Sox at the crib versus righties. Let's have a look, see how they've been doing. 21.5% K rate. That's pretty encouraging that the K rate is not really high. Only a 116 ISO. They haven't been hitting the ball very hard or very far, but a 303 wOBA, which means that they've been able to get on base just enough. So, I think you could play some of the Chicago White Sox bats here. Mike Leake could be interesting at 6.3. You're looking at a cheap guy like him. Maybe you want to pair him with another cheap pitcher. That could be an interesting way to go. We look at Seattle and what they do on the road versus right-handers, and I think they're middle of the pack as well. 18.5% K rate, which is nice. The K rate that low is pretty decent, with a 149 ISO and a 329 WOBA. So if I had to choose bats from anywhere in this game, it would be mostly from the Seattle side to attack Miguel Gonzalez. Now lefty power, I think, really does give him trouble. So we're looking at Robinson Cano, we're looking at Kyle Seager, guys like that. Even Vogelbach, bro. If it gets up closer to the top of the order, it could be somebody that we could use. Let's take a look, see if we got any BVP in the spot. This is the research, homie. This really is. This is the research. Nelly Cruz, 14 at bats, hit a jack. Robinson Cano, 26 at bats, hit a jack, only batting 231. That's not very great. Romine, 17. Ichiro, 13 at bats, hit a jack, hit 301. 308. All right. Next game is going to be Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim going to Houston. Minute Maid Park, man, taking on the Astros. Yet another solid park. Yet another solid park for hitting, man. But you've got Garrett Cole on the mound at 12.6. He's probably going to be the pitching chalk as he should be. The problem is, man, I don't know if I want to pay 12.6. I don't know if I want to play 12.6 um, against the Angels in a hitter in a park that's better designed for hitters. Now, what could happen? Could Garrett Cole come out and throw 6 or 7 scoreless, and then we see the Angels play well after that? Yeah, probably, yeah, that could happen. But I mean, Garrett Cole 12. Let's look. I want to see let's look at what he's been doing. All right, because there were a couple of times where you had to have him. Look at this: 25, 36, 34, 36. I mean, oh man. But let's look at the Angels. Let's look at the Angels on the road versus right-handed pitching and see how they've been doing. Look at that. They've been good. Only a 14.1% K rate, bro. 188 ISO, 366 WOBA. The fade. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like the Angels have cooled off over the last week or so. I would say so. I mean, they're not tearing the cover off of the ball the way they have been like the previous. But I mean, Trout hits Jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, and they don't strike out enough. If it was okay, let's go back. Let's look on the road versus righties. They don't strike out enough. This is one of the lowest K percentages in the game, bro. And I think now is around the time we can start trusting the trending data. Like they strike out less than the Boston Red Sox in this situation. So, um, and this is not a small amount of plate appearances, bro. This is 306 plate appearances, 3.3% walk rate. Like they're hitting the ball. Three Garrett Cole. However, I don't want to stack it though. That will make a couple of guys play, but I don't really want to stack it right now. It's such an expensive stack. You look at Springer, Bregman, Altuve, Correa. It's such an expensive stack that I think you really have to chinch on the pitching in order to get that. And I don't think I want to do that today. Anthony Johnson said I don't have a Facebook account. I don't miss social media other than YouTube. Um, Damn man, thought you forgot about your YouTube peeps. Ha ha ha. Yo, you gotta get the VIP, baby. Next game we got. It'll be the San Diego Padres going to Colorado to take on the Rockies. We got Brian Mitchell at 4.6, Chad Bettis 7.5. Can you play a pitcher in Coarse? Yes. Should you play this pitcher in Coarse? Probably not. Chad Bettis maybe could be a guy that you might play, but I don't want to play Brian Mitchell in this spot. Let us have a look at the Colorado Rockies and see what they do at home versus righties. They are 13th ranked. 25% K rate, 150 ISO, 306 WOBA. Nothing to really write home about, but you factor in, how bad Brian Mitchell is and the fact that they're going to be, they're at home, that number could jump up. So we look at San Diego on the road versus right-handed pitching, see how they've been doing. San Diego, they got a little pop in their bats too now. 29.5% K rate. Oh my God. 125 ISO, 285 WOBA. Now see, everybody's gonna tell you, you can't play a pitcher in Coors. You can't play a pitcher in Coors. There's no way. Blah 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 blah. But yo, Chad Bettis, bro, at 7.5, Chad Bettis is playable to me. Chad Bettis is playable. Look at the last few starts, man. 22, 24, 13 at home, 13. Chad Bettis is playable to me. I'm playing Chad Bettis. I like him. I like people just don't play pitchers in Coors, bro. It's like some shit that's been like automatically like etched into their brain to never play a pitcher in Coors, and I'm playing. I like that. Let's take a look, see if we got any BVP here that could prove me wrong. First, let's go to Houston and look at that one, which I don't imagine there'll be a lot um, against Cole. Pujols hit a jack. That's it. Upton's not no big. Yeah, that's not a big sample size at all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. People hate playing pitchers in Coors. It's like they just can't do it. All right, so Austin Hayes hit a jack in 3 at bats. Ooh, look at Will Myers. In 19 at bats, he hit 2 home runs. But he's hurt, isn't he? Will Myers is hurt, right? Let's look. No, he's not. Okay, so Will Myers has crushed Chad Bettis. The BVP play of the day is Will Myers. Let me write that down. Will Myers is the BVP play of the day. And people, people like to talk shit about BVP and okay, I'm putting it to you like this, okay? And I like to say this a lot. If you ever had a chick, man, that you feel like you could hit her, regardless of what. If she has a boyfriend, if she's coming out of a breakup, if she's single, no matter what, you just feel like you can always hit her. You know what I mean? You can always hit her. That's what BVP is. And at a certain point, guys understand that this dude cannot pitch around me. Like I crush him every time, and they know that. And it's confidence. So much of batting is about confidence. All right, and you can't tell me that Will Myers' confidence is not going to be high, um, facing facing this dude who he already in 19 at bats he's batting 474 with 2 home runs. So I mean, you can't tell me he's not going to have high confidence swinging the bat. You can't tell me that. So he could be one of the BVP plays of the day. But I do like Chad Bettis still as an option here. Next game we got is going to be the Miami Marlins going to Los Angeles to take on the Dodgers. You got Walker Buehler at 6.2. Bueller. Charlie Garcia at 6K. It's really tough to trust the Dodgers right now, but I think that in this spot at the crib versus left-handed pitching, I really think I could get a hold to some of those Dodger bats. 23.8% K rate, 153 ISO with a 296 WOBA. Those numbers do leave a lot to be desired. Jarlin Garcia, a very young pitcher. Um, let's take a look. 15 against the Yankees, 18 against the New York Mets, 23 in his first start of the season against Chicago. Yo, this dude has seen some really, really awesome offenses, man. Chicago, Philadelphia, the Mets, and the Yankees. He sees some really good offenses, and has held his own so far, man. The first 4 starts of the season. The Dodgers, they've struggled. The Dodgers, they've struggled over the last few games. Um, maybe I mean, hey, maybe he's playable at 6K. Maybe he's playable. I mean, we look at they're not great at home against lefties. We look at Bueller at 14.9 points. Okay, yeah, we look at Bueller. Yeah, he got hit up. Oh, he's bad. He's shitty. He's horrible. Okay, cool. So I'm grabbing lefty power. I'm looking at Derek Dietrich here. I'm looking at Boer in this spot. Yeah, those are guys I'm checking for against Bueller. Let's take a look at Miami on the road versus right-handed pitching. I want to see what they've been doing. Horrible. 29.5% K rate, 0.070 ISO with a 238 WOBA. Okay, that's it. Now this is a teaching point for you. Now, do you see this, right? You see how we've got a pitcher that fucking sucks against an offense that really sucks. Miami, one of the worst offenses in the league in this situation on the road versus right-handed pitching. 29.5% K rate, one of the highest K rates in the league. So this tells you, oh my God, Miami sucks. I'm gonna play the shit can pitcher from the Dodgers. No, don't do that. Bad pitching is way worse than bad hitting. Okay? Because it's one pitcher, is one pitcher, is one pitcher, but it's 9 hitters 3 times. You know what I'm saying? So the chances that he makes a mistake that's gonna cost him a good game are way, way higher than 9 batters making a mistake every time out, and this dude pitching a fucking no hitter. Like, Walker Bueller, I'm not fucking with that. Did you just say Bueller was a bad play? I ain't playing it. I ain't fucking with it. If you're making me choose, if you're making me choose between playing Bueller or playing some Miami bats, I'd rather play Miami bats. I think they have a better chance of sneaking through and getting on his ass than he has a chance of mowing them all down. So just because there's a bad team, do not play the pitcher. We play good pitcher. You can play. I'd rather play a good pitcher in a bad spot than a bad pitcher in a good spot. Remember that. I would rather play a good pitcher in a bad spot than a bad pitcher in a good spot, because there is no good spot for a bad pitcher. There is no good spot for a bad pitcher. Okay? And now the dude's gonna go out there and throw a fucking two-walk no-hitter. All right, last game on the slate is gonna be the Washington Nationals and the San Francisco Giants. We got Gio Gonzalez at 10.8. Old trusty, old reliable. And I'm telling you right now, this is a good pitcher in a bad spot. Okay, Gio Gonzalez, very good pitcher. Okay, another thing that makes him that enhances his goodness is the fact that he's playing in the largest ballpark in the league. Okay, this is the best ballpark for pitchers, the AT&T Park. So that enhances the goodness. Well, the reason why he's in a bad spot is because the San Francisco Giants have been actually hitting pretty hot lately. So I would rather play Gio Gonzalez in this bad spot before I would play a shitty pitcher that was in a good spot. So let's look. We're gonna look at San Francisco at home against lefties and see how they've been doing. See, look, 24.5% K rate. That's pretty up there. 148 ISO, which is not completely trash, but it's not very great. 322 WOBA, which is actually pretty good. Okay, so I think they strike out enough to where Gio Gonzalez is my favorite pitching prospect on the slate. He is my top pitching play on the slate. 10.8. I will have plenty of Gio Gonzalez against the hapless San Francisco Giants, against Arizona and San Diego. That was very impressive. That game against Arizona Diamondbacks, that was in Chase Field as well. 8 against the Dodgers, 10 against the Dodgers. I like Gio though. But the thing is, like, do I want to run him out there against the Nats bats? Let's look at the Nats and see what they do on the road versus the Nats have yet to get going, to really get going. On the road versus right-handed pitching. Ooh, look at the Nationals. 20% K rate, 196 ISO, 359 WOBA. I will not be playing any Chris Stratton. As a matter of fact, the Nationals are one of my favorite stacks on the slate. I will be starting some Nationals here. And then against Gio, I will be having minimal exposure to any of the San Francisco Giants bats. Um, absolutely love Gio here. Love Gio. So the pitchers that we're talking about that I'm liking so far, pitchers I'm liking so far, um, in order of salary, highest to lowest. Um, you all should love Garrett Cole. I get it. Everybody should love Garrett Cole. I get it. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's automatically going to get run support, so he will get the win. I like him more in FanDuel than DraftKings. Um, Carrasco is another guy that a lot of you are probably going to like. Me, I like Gio. To pay up the most I'm paying for is Gio. I like Chad Bettis. I think Mike Leake is in play. Kevin Gausman is also another guy that's in play. So those are my 4 pitchers that I'm probably going to be rocking out with the most today. And then later on, once we get the full batting orders, or we know who is going to be where and what the batting orders are, then we can dig a little bit deeper, and we're going to do that inside of the DFS Sweatshop VIP. So the Facebook group. So if you're not involved, man, you go to the website. It's www.dfssweatshop.com. That is where you can gain entry into the Facebook group, man, where it all goes down. This is the best place to be in terms of getting that information, man, and doing it as a group, doing it as a team. Shout out to all the homies that have enjoyed today's live stream. Those of you that got the pass, meet me in the VIP. We will powwow starting probably about 5:30 today. Let's get it in. Let's have a very solid and profitable Monday. Really quick, I kind of want to take a look and see what the scheduler looks like, how many games we got. Um, okay, so we don't have a lot of games. Okay, for tomorrow, not a lot of games tomorrow. Okay, we got day games starting on Wednesday. All right, so this week's gonna be pretty lit. This week's gonna be lit. So let's go out, do the damn thing, man. I will see you all later on, man. Much love to y'all, man. Peace. Yo, this is DFS Sweatshop. We keep it real, we keep it honest, and we always keep it 300. Peace.